my name is John Melbourne, Principal Risk Management Surveyor at Ecclesiastical Insurance. I'd like to welcome you to this short presentation on timber construction methods in the context of contemporary modern methods of construction. The use of timber in modern buildings has grown in recent years, and I'd like to highlight some of the key drivers for this. A recent report by the Royal Institute of British Architects estimated that speed and cost of using MMC has been estimated as being anything up to 60% faster and 40% cheaper to build. Many new buildings incorporate off-site factory-built sections. This enables better quality control during the manufacturing stage. Recently, there's been a decline in skilled construction workers in the UK. Both Brexit and COVID have impacted this, which means MMC is seen as advantageous as using off-site construction processes requires less skills and fewer people to assemble on site, so there are cost savings to that end. The review of Part L of the building regulations in 2006 led to more focused guidance on the conservation of fuel and power in buildings. This has led to an increase in insulation of buildings. The Carbon Zero Challenge has seen an increase in the use of natural sustainable materials, with timber popular for its carbon capture properties. For example, it absorbs CO2 during growth. When it's harvested for construction, the CO2 is captured for the lifetime of the building. In addition, the UK government has been backing the use of modern methods of construction in many of its white papers, including items such as the DofE Off-Site School Framework, which promotes adoption of MMC. Let's take a look at some timber frame buildings in more detail. One of the earliest adopted and most popular forms of MMC is timber frame construction. This has seen significant growth in buildings designed for student accommodation, hotels, school buildings and care homes, with most of the major house builders in the UK also actively embracing its use. At present, around 3/4 of housing in Scotland is constructed using a timber frame. It's popular for the carbon footprint benefit of reduced transport costs. For example, the wood is grown in Scotland and therefore used in Scotland. The rest of the UK is around 1/4 of all housing, but this is growing too. Timber is a versatile product and can be used to construct buildings up to 10 stories in height, and it can be clad and lined with many different materials. The Structural Timber Association maintains that timber frame buildings are as safe as traditional masonry construction. However, insurers do have concerns about the fire performance of timber frame buildings, particularly around the speed and spread of fire when the frame is ignited, or if the fire occurs within the wall cavity behind the cladding. The fire can then track behind the facade, making it difficult for fire and rescue services to locate and extinguish a fire. To try and contain the fire spread, robust fire stopping and building compartmentation are key factors. Another issue that arises with timber is that when it's made wet, either through an escape of water or application of firefighting water, it swells and it will not return to its design parameters. That means it will require replacement, even if not damaged by fire. Another common construction method uses cross-laminated timber. This is a panel form built from several layers of timber bonded together at right angles for structural strength. It's used to provide the structural frame, walls, roof and floors of a building, and can be used as well up to 10 stories in height. It's a quick and relatively simple construction method, with the cross-laminated timber panels capable of being clad and lined with any material. A popular choice is to leave the internal face of the panel exposed for aesthetic reasons. There are some concerns regarding the fire performance of cross-laminated timber. It's been argued that when they're exposed to fire, they will perform the same as a solid piece of wood and just char externally. However, some testing of CLT has found that the bonding agent can fail under fire conditions. This allows the initial charred layer to fall away, exposing fresh timber to ignite and carry on the fire. The fire performance can be improved by ensuring the cross-laminated timber panel is clad and lined with non-combustible material. Glulam or LVL timber framing has often been a popular choice with building designers. It's used to provide the structural frame for a building and is constructed from glued laminations of timber which can be softwood or hardwood. It's popular because it's got high load-bearing and dimensional stability properties. As with cross-laminated timber, it can be used in conjunction with almost any wall, roof or floor finish. The same fire concerns and susceptibility to water were also held for glulam as timber framing and CLT. So let's think about some of the key considerations with regards to timber construction. What could be the extent of fire damage? How can the performance be improved with fire stopping, fire breaks and compartmentation? What's the fire and rescue response likely to be? Many fire and rescue services will take a bespoke approach to timber frame buildings, and once they know all the occupants have been accounted for, they may well not commit to trying to save the building. How easy is it to repair a damaged or charred section? Can it be cut out and replaced, or will there be a need for dismantling undamaged sections of a building to effect repair? Timber is susceptible to swelling when damaged by water and will require replacement, which can impact on both repair costs and business continuity in the event of a modest escape of water. Where timber is left exposed, many insurers will insist it's provided with a fire retardant treatment, which when exposed to fire can generate toxic smoke. As an insurer, we accept the need to embrace carbon zero and sustainability, but do have concerns about the amount of combustible materials being used in contemporary buildings and their resilience to the effects of fire. We would encourage early engagement with your insurer on any building or sustainability project, as whilst the project may comply with published guidance, it may not necessarily satisfy your insurer's requirements and could impact the insurability and cost for its design lifetime. At Ecclesiastical, we have a dedicated team of risk management surveyors who have a wide knowledge of contemporary construction methods and are available to discuss any projects you may be planning. So please do get in touch. Thank you.